Hello YouTube, this is Michael from Wheezing the Snakes, and I've made a couple mistakes. I like to discuss some of the mistakes that we've made as far as getting into the breeding of ball pythons, so that maybe if you're just starting out, that you won't make the same mistakes we made, or you'd have a better idea of what direction you're going to go. So when we first started our collection, that's exactly what it was. We were just going to be snake keepers. My daughter really got into snakes. She talked to me about it. I thought, oh, this is kind of cool, so let's do this. And we started going out and buying snakes that basically just snakes that we liked. We got in first. Our first snake was a corn snake, and then we got into the ball pythons, and now most of our collection is ball pythons. So when we were first getting into it, that's all we were going to be, is just collectors, more or less, or keepers. And then my daughter and I started discussing breeding snakes, so she wanted to start getting into breeding. So that kind of changed our complete focus of where we were to where we were going. So, and this is where the mistakes that we made came to light. So I would say there's a few mistakes that we made. They didn't seem like mistakes when we first started, because like I said, we were going to be keepers, not breeders. But now that we're getting into, and we are now breeders, then now those mistakes are amplified. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this video is I was actually watching another YouTube channel, Mutation Creation, and they did a vlog about getting started and the mistakes being made, and he hit the nail right on the head. And so we already knew some of the stuff that he was saying, and we already knew the position we were in, but I mean, he nailed it right on the head. And one of our biggest mistakes that we made is that we didn't pay attention to male-female ratio when we were buying our snakes. We didn't stay consistent on, this is the morph we like the most, let's build a breeding collection around this morph and then expand from there. So we've kind of got an eclectic collection of ball pythons, and we have GHI, we have banana, we have pieds, we have clown, Candino, albinos, spider. We got so many different morphs and genes, and looking at combining them and so forth, we'd have been much better off if we'd decided on, we really like pieds, so let's build a collection of pieds. So that was probably our first mistake. Our second mistake was the fact that we really weren't paying attention to male-female. We were just buying ones that we thought were really cool. We liked the way they looked and so forth. So we're not horrible with our male-to-female ratio. You really want to be about 4 to 1, 4 females to 1 male would be ideal. We're setting at basically like 2 to 1, so we have 2 females for every male that we have. So we got some work to do there. It's not horrible. It's not like we're 1 to 1 or something, but I mean, that's not great either, 2 to 1. But even though we're 2 to 1, one of the biggest mistakes I think we made was the fact that a male ball python is ready to be ready to breed at about 500 grams or better. So once they get above that 500 gram mark, you can start working them into your breeding. On the other hand, females have to be 1500 grams, or most people say about 1500 grams. I know there are some people that go a 1100 grams, 1000 grams, and so forth. But 1500 grams are larger, for females. So basically, female has to be 3 times the size of male in order to produce or breed. So even though we're at a 2-to-1 ratio, as you can see behind me, this is my breeder board. It's kind of where we visually plan out what we're going to do. We do use the Husbandry Pro app, and I mean, the Husbandry Pro app will give you everything you need. If you're not using Husbandry Pro, you really need to get Husbandry Pro app. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything else, but it's just it's like, I love organization, and that has made all the difference in the world. You can record the weights and morphs and everything else. You can pull up reports by the weight of the snake, male, female. I can pull up a breeding plan of everything I had that has pied in it. So anyway, the morph market is, I'm not morph market, sorry. Husbandry Pro is amazing app we use. So but as you can see on the board behind me, I have a breeding plan that I like to set up and visually move cards around and so forth. And this row here is all my males that are breeding size, at least 500 grams or bigger. I think the smallest one on here is about 600, 689. These 6 right here are my females that are ready to breed. So as you can see, I have about 13 males and only 6 females ready to breed. So we have basically went from our 2-to-1 ratio of females to males to, in our collection, to being a flipped ratio of 2 males for every 1 female that's ready to breed. So that is probably as far as the breeding aspect of it, that's probably one of the largest or the biggest mistakes that we've made. Now in another year or so, we'll be at that 2-to-1, because I have a lot of females that will be ready in about a year. So basically we sat down and we looked at it and came up with a game plan of what we're going to do. Is like, we have 1 clutch already hatched out, and surprisingly enough, it's a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 females and 1 male. So that kind of kept us right on track as far as our 2-to-1. We do have another clutch that's in the incubator right now. When it hatches out, we're talking about which ones we're going to put on morph market to go ahead and sell off. We're probably not going to keep any males out of that clutch. We will keep some females, if not all the females. But of course, our first clutch that we have, we're keeping all of those. It's it's our first clutch, our first 3 babies. Definitely not going to get rid of the male out of that one, because he was actually the first one that hatched and was out of the egg. So that was our first snake that we ever produced. So that one, if anything else, is sentimental value, so we'll definitely be keeping that. But here, looking forward, we're gonna definitely concentrate more on females. When we go to add to our collection, we will be concentrating on adding females, hopefully some sub-adults, or maybe after this breeding season we'll look and see what's out there as far as breeder females, and to add to our collection. So basically, just to sum everything up, if you're gonna get a couple snakes and keep them as just be a snake keeper or a reptile keeper, just get what you like and so forth. But if you want to get into the breeding aspect of it, like we're starting to branch out into, then try to come up with a plan of action where you're going to get 1 morph, you're going to work that morph, make sure that you're at somewhere around 4-to-1, 4 females to 1 male, and then build your build your collection from there. If you want to expand out into other morphs or other genes that you like and so forth, get a base set and start building it, and then add other morphs and so forth after that. So, but we're gonna keep plugging away. Like I said, I got a whole rack here full of males that will be ready to go. We actually have stopped pairing any of the snakes up at this point. We have one that we're still pairing up. This one here is a let's see, it's a pastel pinstripe fire yellow belly male to a specter yellow belly female, or a super stripe. So they're the only ones that right now that we have pairing. She is showing some follicle growth, so we'll see where that goes from there. But anyway, we're gonna cool the jets on everything else for a while till September, and then maybe look at where we're going to go from there. We will have some more females to add to this board by September, so that'll get us a little bit closer. But anyway, that's kind of a rundown on the mistakes I made. Hopefully this was helpful to you if you're looking to get into breeding and building a collection. If you're new and you're a beginner, by no means am I claiming to be an expert, but I'm just going to give you my point of view from what we've learned so far, and the mistakes that we've made, and where we're going to go from there. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel. So please like, share, and subscribe. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative for you, and until next time, we'll see you later.